All 5 starters in double figures for the second straight game, and the third time this season. Their starting unit is starting to click, and they came through during crunch time when the Hawks had whittled away a 17-point lead down to 3 with about 4.5 minutes to go.
Came back in with the starters, and they completely put this game away. Evan Fournier showed what he was doing for Team France in the Olympics, just clutch basket, clutch basket, clutch basket. He had 6 quick points when the Hawks had cut the lead down to, I think it was 3 or 4, and then the Knicks just closed out this game. And I'll tell you, Julius Randle is really doing everything this team needs. They have no pure point guard on the roster. No Kemba Walker, no Derrick Rose, so they're playing point guard by committee, and Julius Randle has taken it upon himself to be a point forward and facilitate the offense when needed for this team. His unselfishness has been tremendous. He's gotten aggressive when he needs to score. He does everything as far as rebounding and defending goes, and now everyone is starting to play well. And when everyone plays well on a team, that's when you start rolling, and that's what the Knicks are doing right now.
Ball's moving now, right? It's not sticking. It's not about one guy, and everybody's just watching one guy play.
But it's also when the ball moves to someone else is doing something with it. And they're making their shots when they get them, 100%. And they're not clanking like some of them were at the beginning of the year.
That is true. The 3 key pieces for this team that we talked about in the first half that needed to play well based off last year was Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Mitchell Robinson. These last few games now, we're seeing all 3 guys making a difference. Fournier hit 18 points, Bill. What does that mean?
What's the
12 and 2 now.
But now, really important to point out that 9 of those came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's big, too, the big shots he made. Also, now
number?
18 and 9. They have another 20-point assist game, so now 18 and 9 when they get over 20 assists. More importantly, though, on December 14th, they were 12 and 16, heading in the wrong direction, really struggling. It's a month since then, right? They're now over 500 for the first time since November 30th. So back on track. Winning games are supposed to be winning. And now, as Wally mentioned, playing offensively the way you think they're capable of playing. More importantly, although they gave up a lot of points in this game, that 31-point fourth quarter, but the defense, when it needed to be tonight, was solid.
All right, so important to point out, and you talk about Randle distributing 9 assists.
Yeah.
And Burks, who sometimes struggles against defensive pressure, had a season-high 8 assists.
Yeah, and it's point guard by committee. Burks he's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to really be a creator off pick and rolls all the time. He can at times. But they're just doing a good job of figuring out what the team needs on the offensive end of the floor. And Tom Thibodeau wanted Burks in the starting lineup for defense because now the starting lineup's defense, they are tough to score against because they can switch all pick and rolls. They have a lot of guys that they are comfortable with guarding a guy like Trae Young. We saw Julius Randle matched up one-on-one with Trae Young, and Trae Young's just afraid to shoot because Julius Randle's so big and athletic and long that he's seeing his arms coming out of nowhere when he goes to shoot the ball. So that is a huge part of why the defense has gotten better because they've negated pick and rolls because they can switch a lot of those screens.
And Mitchell Robinson's also healthy.
Huge.
His impact.
Huge.
So the Knicks had 11 offensive rebounds in this game. They won the rebounding battle by 13. But they had 11 offensive rebounds. Mitch had 5 of them, and he finished with another double-double, his 3rd straight. And without Clint Capella, he dominated this game, whereas what we saw last year, especially in the playoff series, was Clint Capella was dominating, and a lot of it had to do with the offensive rebounding.
And they
were not getting second chances.
Would have been different if you had Mitch last year in the playoffs.
I keep saying it.
Because they dominated. Those 2 guys just dominated the interior, running rough shot, throwing guys at Randle right and left. Mitch would have been in there, keeping everyone honest, catching lobs, getting offensive rebounds. That could have made a big difference in that playoff series, especially with the way Mitchell Robinson has played against this team. They have dominated the Hawks in their 3 meetings, especially in the interior. They have pounded them in the paint and pounded them on the glass. A big reason is because of Mitchell Robinson.
We're watching the game, and we look at the box score, and RJ had 26 points. I'm like, how did he get so many points?
8 of 10 from the free throw line. That's how.
Another great game for him. I mean, this stretch continues. 26 points for R.J. Barrett. It's becoming, look, it's a, 9-game sample, but that's a 9-game sample where things seem like they're becoming routine for him.
Yeah, and it's because the ball movement is there, and the ball isn't stuck in a point guard's hands, for a majority of the time where the point guard's orchestrating the offense. This offense is being run by committee. Everyone is being trusted to create and make the right play. And R.J. Barrett, he's making plays off the dribble. He's making plays off the pick and roll. Right there, pick and roll. Get the switch with the big guy, lull in the sleep, and knock down the shot, get the and-one opportunity. I mean, look at all these mid-range buckets he's getting. That's setting up the open threes You know, when Julius Randle's looking to find him, when he's camped out in the corner, like right there, he knocks down that open three with consistency, and he's strung together some big-time performances. And this is what Tom Thibodeau wants. He has his guys that he has faith in and trust in. You know he trusts Randle. Now you know he trusts Barrett every single night. You got to get me 20-plus. Fournier's starting to earn that trust from Tom Thibodeau, make big shots, step up every night, give consistent production when you're given those minutes, and that's a good sign, you know, for this team in the way they're trending.
I said in the pregame, legs feed the wolf. He just looks so much stronger right now at this point in the season, whatever was going on with him earlier in the season. And it's something that you remember, it was a couple of weeks ago when he was struggling, and Tom Thibodeau said, it's no secret, just get back in the gym, get your work in. That's what worked for you last year. Do it again. Kid went back in the gym and got his work in. That's what everybody's saying. That's yeah, he's in the gym and he's putting in the time. The results are showing. You know, your favorite saying, the magic's in the work.
Right.
Proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding when the magic is in the work.
Well, I mean, look at it. You just see it. You could just see with your own eyes. Like when people say, what's different? He's stronger, and it's showing. And you're seeing it right there on the stat sheet.
As for Randle, has he changed his approach here in the last handful of games?
Yeah.
24 points, 9 assists. What's he doing differently?
Early on in the game, he's looking to play point guard. He really is. He's not pressing his offense. He's looking to get the other guys involved. He's not looking to shoot as much at the beginning of the game. He's reading how the defense is defending him, and he's getting the other guys involved and trusting that R.J. Barrett's going to take over at times. Then when he sees there's a mismatch or a matchup that he wants to attack, then that's when he goes off like he did in the second quarter when he had that, 10-0 run by himself and just looked like the dominating second-team All-NBA player that he was last year. So I give him a lot of credit because, he's not shooting the ball as well from three as he did last year. He had a career year. He's still capable. I mean, teams, he's going to keep them honest from that three-point shot. He's attacking the basket with a vengeance. He's getting to the free throw line. And his strength around the basket defensively, his quickness, I mean, it's so underrated. You look at a guy like Collins. Collins, when he's matched up square with Julius Randle, Julius Randle can overpower him whenever he wants. That's how strong Julius Randle is. And, you saw it in the second half. You saw it in the second quarter. Julius Randle is doing whatever this team needs, and now he's getting a lot of help from the other guys.
He's moved closer to the basket. That's one difference I've noticed.
Yeah.
And also, he's driving to the basket a little more. When he sees he's in a one-on-one, he's attacking.
True.
When he sees the double or at least somebody kind of hanging around nearby, that's when you see him saying, all right, you're going to come get me, we're going to move the ball. And that's, again, with the film work that they've done, and they point things out, and he figures it out. But I'll tell you what I loved was, I know it was blocked, but the fact that he went to go dunk on the entire Hawks team on that one drive.
Oh, it was nice.
Now, the block was a great block, but it's the fact that he, it was just the aggression.
Okongwu came up injured.
That hurt, right? It hurt to come up with that.
Hurts.
But the point, what I liked is that it just shows you that's in him.
Oh, yeah.
And just keep doing that because there's a couple of times he probably could have gotten the foul, but it just shows you where he is. Not settling, not staying on the perimeter, get dirty, attack, and the game will get easier.
Would you make a business decision if Randle were coming at you and just, I'm out?
No, I tried to take a charge.
Would you really? Boy, he's
Hey,
strong.
I did it at Carmelo, I did it at Shaq.
All right.
No fun.
You and I would make business decisions on that one.
I'm out.
Yeah.